The police, I mean, is an institution.
Yeah.
They have employees like every other organization.
Right.
And I'm sure they're allowed to have cooperatives within that organization.
Absolutely.
And if they decide to set up a little microfinance bank, I would think that it's within their rights as employees of that organization. It shouldn't detract or take away from their professionalism. But since you talk about the police, I mean, the question then will be, on what issues is your party running?
For us.
You know, because if we say that for 16 years, the police, we've known it for a very long time, you know, to try to be the people's friends, for want of a better way to phrase it. And if in the last 16 years a party has been in power, what have they done to ensure that they're truly the friend of the people?
It's a continuous process. It's not something new.
Where have we started from? If we say it's a continuous process, where have we started from?
PDP, this government has done a lot for the police. A hell of a lot. In terms of, first of all, training, in terms of providing the equipment they need, the right equipment they need, in terms of increasing the capacity of the police to deal. Nigeria is the population is growing by every day, and so you cannot have, you have to have an incremental thing with the police, because of course as the population is growing, you need more and more police.
Now, people believe that that could have been, done a lot more decisively, but, let's veer off away from there.
Okay. It's
something that we know is still very touchy for many Nigerians. Let's look towards the conduct of the elections. I listened to you earlier talk about, INEC, how you give them 65 to 70% in terms of preparedness. Some people will say that that's a little unusual because they believe that your party now doesn't want the leadership of INEC. Is that true?
No. Our party, as far as the leadership of INEC is concerned, all that talk about removing JEGA and all this, I think it's just rhetoric.
But is that your personal view, or that's what you believe that your party believes?
Besides, if we even look at it, there is a process of appointing INEC chairman, and so there has to be a process of sacking him. And that process within the context of an election, I don't think is possible now. So all that is just wishful thinking. And look, people are throwing in all sorts of things into the equation to dissuade people to say, oh, this is what they're trying to do. No, this is what they're not. This. So you have that sort of thing going on. But I think, as far as INEC is concerned, that's why I said INEC, to the best of their ability, are trying to do the best they can. Yes, they try new things. There's no perfection. They have to keep trying. Okay, so
there's not smoke without fire, But some people will say that, some of the persons that we've seen, known supporters of the PDP, are the ones in the forefront. They might not be directly PDP members, but they're sympathizers and sympathetic, as it were, to the PDP. Do you think that your party has handled the fears of these supporters of it, strongly enough to assure them that we're quite content with the leadership of INEC, and we think that these protests are wholly unnecessary?
Put it this way. Every time a complaint is raised about, how come they're saying they don't have PVCs 50% and they want to conduct an election, that's a complaint. That's based on fact, okay? And so if they have a series of complaints being mentioned by a political party, that doesn't mean that that party is planning to do something completely different. People can complain about things, okay? But the party stand, I don't think the party is saying we're going to sack INEC. Did you hear that? Or did you read that anywhere?
All right, we did ask Mr. Bokwe, so we'll ask you too.
Sure.
Those who have hit against your party say you failed in the area of security, they say you failed in the area of corruption, and they don't see any reason why they should vote you in.
Security. Boko Haram, if security in relation to Boko Haram, is that what you're talking about?
Partly.
Okay. Two things. First of all, why is Boko Haram being successful now? Why have they been successful in the past? Why suddenly everything is working? In 6 weeks, they've made milestones, whereas in 4 years, they couldn't even go 1 kilometer. First, we're fighting a guerrilla warfare. The equipment to fight it, the sort of things that we need, surveillance equipment and all the rest of it, we didn't have.
Why didn't we have it?
Well, you build an army. You build an army. It's not a one-day shopping spree. You build over time and you train people over time. We didn't have these sort of problems in the past. So the need for setting maybe the sophistication kind of equipment that we're using now, we didn't have that. It's not that we didn't have anything at all, but maybe for the level of sophistication that is required, we didn't have the upgraded version of the equipment. And so investment needed to be made, and they've been made. And because that, again, the other countries that are supporting us in this effort, they were channels of escape in the past. When things happen, they cross the border and they're out, and they come back again and attack and all the rest of it. So once you have cooperation from all the other countries, borders were now being managed properly, then we could find, people, we could target people, and there's no road to escape. So with that in mind, we started making some serious progress.
Yeah, but they have said that. I mean, all these countries have always been there.
Yeah.
Why didn't we get that cooperation all the while?
Well, why didn't we? I think, put it this way. First of all, because a lot of them, started seeing that this thing is going to affect us if we don't do anything, because it's spreading. It wasn't limited to Sambisa Forest. It was spreading. They were gaining grounds. They were now having attacks in Cameroon, having attacks in all these other countries. And then, look, if we don't cooperate with these guys and push this thing, it's going to come and affect us. So for that reason, they started to cooperate better.
The other point is this: why do you think that those who feel strongly about it do? Because they say, look, they still don't believe that your party, which is the ruling party,
right,
has done enough to tackle corruption.
Corruption. That's a big issue for us. And it's a big issue for Nigeria. When people point fingers, they must also look at where the other 5 fingers are pointing to. When you're making accusation of corruption, yes, there is corruption. Those who've been tested and found guilty have been sanctioned. EFCC is working. ICPC is working. Those who are accusing us of corruption are worse, completely worse. The figures are there. I'm sure whether you saw that documentary that was aired on AIT or whatever it was. Did you see it? It shows you you cannot.
Doesn't that show you that the institutions he highlighted a while ago are weak? If we have institutions that can actually kickstart the process that we all want, then we won't be talking about a documentary showing how an alleged or a supposed corrupt act by anyone.
Put it this way. First of all, and that's why this government have focused on building institutions. For the past 4 years, we've tried to do a lot of institution building in every area of our economy, our security, and all the rest of it. On corruption, we build institutions. That's why, and in building institutions, it takes time. It takes time, but you have to get it right. Once you get institutions right, then you can build on it.
And I say, because I know we're almost out of time, I still want this picture clear.
Right.
And I'm saying, if they have facts against anyone, where do you approach? Produce a documentary to air, or approach the EFCC or ICPC or the police?
Yes. The institutions we have needs to be strengthened. That I agree with. But like I said, that's a process, You keep strengthening it as much as you possibly can. Take EFCC. I remember when Ribadu was head of EFCC, all sorts of accusations were thrown at him. He was hounding this and hounding people. And okay, no matter what you do, people will complain. But the important thing is, it's not about Ribadu. It's about the institution is leading and the work, that they were doing. And so that institution needs to be strengthened, okay, in every way to be able to. And then the police needs to be strengthened, because of what use is it if you find people, have evidence against them, and
who will strengthen? I mean, your parties are the helm of affairs now.
Yes, we've been doing that. It's a process. It's not an event. It's a process. It's a process. Nation building is a process.
But both the successes and the failure will be, the buck will stop at the table of your candidate.
Put it this way: no government all over the world is perfect. No government. And you cannot take care of everything at the same time. So you do things incrementally, okay? And you put priorities, what is key, and then you face it. And this government is doing exactly that.
Did they put priority on strengthening the police? Was it prioritized?
Privatized.
Prioritized?
Yes. Police
this government did?
Yes. You have all the police service commissions, you have the Ministry of Police Affairs, you have all these sort of institutions being told to part of the things, this is part of the areas that you use, this is part of the institutions that you create to strengthen, okay? I'm sure the way policemen are promoted and all the rest of it, okay, is being channeled in a different, institution. And so every time we try to do something, you do it gradually. It's not an event. You don't do it. It's a process. Development is a process.
Okay, Mr. Olumuyiwa Agunbiade, a member of the PDP. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you very much.
We'll be back after the break. Please join us again.